Hi, Carol. How are you doing?
Hi, great. How about you?
I'm also doing good. Thank you. Go ahead.
So let's start speaking about how does GoKidu work.
Okay. So, GoKidu is a mobile-based platform that connects gamete donors, which are like sperm, egg, embryo, and surrogate donors, with their intended parents, like recipients, in more of the safe, affordable, and reliable manner, while providing them with the legal clarity. So, I know there were so many of the jargons, but let me So when we say safe, why do we need safe? Because there are so many other platforms like Facebook groups and communities and Reddit groups and trade lists where people go for finding out donors. And that is where the problem arises because there is no people who can actually make sure that, okay, whoever is the donor, whoever is the recipient are the real person. And that is why a lot of scams happen, harassment happens. And the worst part, people don't know what kind of legal things they should have in place which will protect them. So that is like the biggest reason why we created GoKidu. So GoKidu is trying to create a platform which is like in between the two extremes. And we are trying to bridge this gap by providing the middle way, which is both safe and accessible and affordable.
Great security is very important on the process, right?
Yes.
And why become a donor on GoKidu?
Okay. So there are a couple of reasons. Let me start with the first reason. So when people donate sperm on in sperm bank, at that time they take your sperm, and then you do not have any control over whom you are donating. For many donors, it is very important to uh, to know when they are actually providing their 50% genetic material. So in sperm bank, you have no control. It's not like donors are not being scammed on alternative platform. Just recently, I came across an incident where uh, a donor drove approximately 3 hours to do the donation, and the recipient ghosted the donor.
Really?
So it's not like like you find out the donor and like for donor it is like walking on a piece of cake. No, donor is investing their energy. They are providing 50% genetic material. They are also investing time, and they are actually building a relationship with you, and like they are accommodating you the time and like important resource from their life. Think about it. You are like creating a connection with somebody. It takes time. If you're building a relationship, it takes time. And these people, they are doing it, all of those kind of things without asking for anything. And if they are also getting scammed in the end, like people are ghosting, that's not fair. So donors will not will not at least get into all these kind of problems because on GoKidu, they will have like more of the serious receptors who will be like, doing these kind of things. It's because we also do a lot of verification for receptors. Another thing is like when you provide something to somebody for free and they are also having 200 millions of resources, they don't care. They don't value enough. On GoKidu, that is not going to be the case. Only the recipient who are like really, really serious, they join it. So that actually remove the part from the donor side. Like they are not being scammed or their time and energy is not being invested. But apart from that, as I mentioned in the beginning, it gives them more control over whom they are providing their sperm. It makes it more safe and secure because even with the donors, they also get scammed. Just ghosting is just one thing. But sometimes donor ship the sperm, but they never get paid because recipient goes there. So it's like the way the ghosting and scamming happens. So GoKidu is like the middle ground where we try to make it safe for both donor and recipients.
Let me connect with the other question that we have. It's what does the donation process look like for donors?
Okay. So for donor, it is very simple. You create your profile, you provide as many information as possible. Okay. Like your medical report, your ethnicity, your background, your professional background, your educational background, uh, your values, and all those kind of things. So now you provide all of this information, and you provide your baby photograph as well, that how you used to look like when you were a baby, your adult photograph, and also photograph of your kids, because that will also give a little bit more idea to recipients that how how their kid is also gonna look like. And it is very also important to provide a proper, clear photograph, because GoKidu also have a technology where your original photograph is being matched with what donor is, like recipient is looking for. So that way the photograph helps. Now, when you provide all this information, recipients have this feature of they can set the preference. So if you provide more details, you'll be able to get matched with their preference, right? So once you provide all this information, you can also browse recipients. Recipient can also browse you. Once they browse, you browse each other. You can also send requests to recipients, writing the message that, you know what, I am interested to provide you the donation. Recipient can look at that. At the same time, recipient can also reach out to you and can say that, okay, fine, I'm interested if you can tell me more about yourself. So you do the communication, you know each other by chatting. Now, remember I said that you also upload your medical reports, right? But GoKidu is very much aware about your security. So at the time of sharing those medical reports, you can anonymize those medical reports, right? Because we understand your security is very important for both donor and recipient both. So you can anonymize the report and send it to them so that recipient can check that, okay, everything is good medically. Now the next step comes is like, say you guys are thinking of meeting each other. So at that time, in majority of the cases or some cases, donors need to travel to recipients, right? So at that time, sometimes donors say that, okay, I'm traveling from like 3 hours away. Can you reimburse me for some gas money or something like that? Recipients can do that reimbursement through GoKidu by securely, uh, by secure payment system. So GoKidu will hold the money once donor reaches, once you reaches, once you exchange the donation, you can give the verification that, okay, I got my donation. And once you provide the donor verification, like donation verification, we release the money to donor. So nobody's getting scammed here. And we are sure that,
It
okay,
is
we have
really
money.
great.
Yeah, we have money from both the sides. And so that's how the GoKidu works. Like this is how the donation works. It is as simple as possible. GoKidu, uh, Cookie is also working right now uh, to make this even further easier, and that I will explain that once we release that part. But it is going to be a little bit more easier as well if somebody do not want to meet. So that's how any donation works on GoKidu. And the best part about this is it's non-donation. So both recipient and donor know each other and then decide whether they want to go for donation.
So why people choose GoKidu over traditional Sperm?
That's a very good question. That actually takes me back. And I want to step back and I want to really address what exactly the problem. So for anybody who is not having like the conventional parenthood path, like to conceive, they have two options. First is you go to gamete banks. Okay. And there in gamete banks, you have like, you have to pay like $1,500 vial of sperm. And let me be very clear, this vial of sperm is not like the full sample of sperm which is being given to them. So every time a donor donate a sperm, That sperm is then divided into 10 different vials. Okay. And that sperm is also obviously frozen. So they give you one vial of sperm for $1,500 plus shipping charge, etc., just like additional cost. Now, for anybody to become pregnant, in majority of the cases, it takes more than 3 vials of sperm to get pregnant. Like like they need to try minimum 3 to 4 times to get pregnant. So that cost adds up. Okay. Now, one is affordability. Okay. Like, what is this? Like, yeah, okay, I can afford. So, yeah, people can afford it. That's okay. But people who cannot afford it. So, affordability is the barrier for them. Now, let's talk about, like, apart from affordability, what is the challenge people face? Sperm banks have extremely stringent criteria of having the sperm donors. And the reason is they need exceptionally high quality of sperm to become sperm donor in sperm bank. Why? Because they freeze sperm. When you freeze a sample of semen, half of the sperm cells die. And for them to create a vial, they need enough amount of sperm cells in that sample, right? So that's why they need exceptionally high quality of sperm. Now, when you need exceptionally high quality of sperm, you have limited donor pool. Not everybody has like exceptionally high quality, right? So, like, say 100 people apply to sperm bank, only 5 people get to donate that because of this criteria. But generally people do not need exceptionally high quality of sperm to get pregnant. Why? If you take the sample population, if only 5% people have exceptionally high quality of sperm, then that means the rest of the people will not have kids. That's not the case, right? And so the entire catch is that exceptionally high quality sperm is required only because of the freezing process. But otherwise, if you provide this sperm in a fresh donation process, second thing is unknown donation. Think about it. You are literally buying 50% genetic material for your kid. And it's like, and you're choosing them just by looking at the description of the donor. It's like imagining the taste of a chocolate by looking at a wrapper and the ingredients of the chocolate. How is it possible? Right? I could never understand this part because it's like, think about it. Like chocolate is like you eat it and then forget about it, right? But you are having a kid for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you don't have how to forget it.
It's not reversible, right? It is not
Yeah.
reversible at all. So so it so that is another problem. People go for unknown donors. They don't know who they are. They don't know the value. I personally think that we are nature and nurture versus debate. I understand that okay, nurturing is also the thing, but nature has its own part to play, right? And historically, there are so many people who are being donor conceived who do not know their genetic parents. They are facing a lot of problems. They are having their identity issues because they don't know where are their roots. And Facebook groups are full of those people who are like talking about that. So that is another barrier which sperm bank or gamete banks have. Like if tomorrow something happens to your kid and if you really want to know, okay, why is this happening? Who will answer it? You definitely have 50% answer, but not the rest of 50%, right? So that is also one of the reasons why it is very important that you choose known donor whom you can talk, which is not the case at gamete banks. Now, one point which I want to address, so I could take a lot of time on this issue, is majority of the children who are being conceived using donation, at one point of time in their lives, they would like to meet their genetic parent. Or they will have curiosity, okay, fine, who is the genetic parent?
Yeah.
I don't know, right?
I can imagine.
Exactly. So at that time, non-donation really helps. And that is where exactly the current system is having a lot of.
Can you please explain what is non-donation and why some people choose it?
Three things which are addressed here. One is the non-donation, one is unknown donation, and one is anonymous donation. Okay? So known donation is where donor is like telling you, okay, like I am this person, like their legal identity, who am I, where do I live, etc., etc. Sometimes they are absolutely okay to be part of the kids, and sometimes they are like, okay, fine, you know what? If you have any question, I am here. If the kid has any question, I'm here, but I don't want to be part of your kid's life. Yeah, and that's absolutely fine because they are just a donor, right? So that is like more of the known donation where you know the legal identity as well. Now there is something called anonymous donation. Anonymous donation is also like known donation. You just do not know the real identity or the real legal name of a person. So maybe this person is talking with you with alias name that I am this, but you definitely know how to reach this person. He is there to answer all the questions, but it's just that you don't know the legal name. Okay, and it's absolutely okay because there are many times things go that people don't want to disclose their identity. It's absolutely fine. And the third one is unknown donation. Unknown donation is where you do not know anything about this donor. You only know that this is how this person looks. This is what his education is. This is what his IQ is. And this is what his genetic test report is. You have never spoke with that person. You have never chatted with that person. And you'll have no access to that person when something goes wrong.
Can you explain a little bit about the legal agreement with the donor?
Many times when people actually exchange or find known donor on Facebook groups, etc., they do not sign anything. Okay? But that's not advisable. Why? You can, and this is actually this laws actually change state-wise, and that's why it's very important that you meet with your legal entity or like legal lawyers and all. So it's important that you make sure that you sign the legal contract with the donor that you know what, yes, I'm taking donation from you, but as a donor, he is renouncing all the rights of being a parent or something like that. So those things are jotted down in the contracts. At the same time, it also address the situations about, like who will be having the custody and who will have the parental rights and all those kind of things. So those are the aspects which are covered in the legal contract. And it is absolutely necessary that you have that in place for your peace of mind. So that is the aspect which is very, very important. Now, I want to address one more thing here, Carol, that how exactly like the flow happens from the recipient side. Because we address the donor side, but just want to address the recipient side. Once any recipients come on a platform, they can create their profile, they can find donors, right? But now they will also be able to. So it's very important, like just like you and me are talking right now, that it's very important where we are able to see each other and communicate in real time, right? So
Yeah.
that is also the aspect which people need, right? So GoKidu help them with that. So once you like any donor, you can chat with them. You can also do video calling and you can instantly know that, okay, fine, whether I like this donor or not. And then you create a plan for okay, how you want to do the donation. In between, you ask for medical report from the donor that, okay, give me this report. I just want to cross check it. Please do ask for genetic test report. Please do ask for STD report. There are two main fundamental things which you must check. And of course, semen analysis report, right? Uh, Once you are done with that, you share your ovulation date with that donor and then you work out the logistics. If you want to get the donor to ship you the semen, then you must plan in advance And that shipment must reach to you on your ovulation day to maximize your chance to become pregnant. And you must meet on the same ovulation day to maximize your chance of pregnancy. Now, people generally share their phone number, their identity information, their Instagram, Facebook handle. Now, I really discourage people doing that. The reason is there's a reason why we have created the GoKidu platform. It is there to secure your identity. When you can do everything on GoKidu without disclosing your identity, you can even talk with them on face to face. Why do you need to disclose your identity, which can make you vulnerable? Because at the time, like the moment you share your email ID or your phone number, anybody can search you from anywhere, right? And this is very difficult for the donors because it can go against them in the future. When something is wrong, somebody is asking for like, yeah, okay, give me some parental support. That will really, they'll be able to identify you through that. So the whole purpose of this and making entire security thing is the GoKidu platform existed because for your security. So that is one thing which I want to address for even for recipient and even for donor. If you don't want to get started getting scammed or harassed, do make sure don't disclose your identity. Yeah. So that was one of the points which I wanted to mention. And see, you do not need to disclose your identity. Why? Because you can do everything from first to last step you can do on GoKidu. You can pay that person through GoKidu. You can ask for medical report through GoKidu. You can talk with that person through GoKidu. You can also share your location through GoKidu. So even for that sharing the location, you don't need to share your phone number, right? So that is exactly why we have kept all of these points in mind and then designed the GoKidu. So do make sure that you take care of your security, and it's an end to it. And then finally, you get the donation and you track your pregnancy report and make sure that you also provide review to that particular donor and donor provide review to that particular recipient. So that next time somebody is coming on a platform, they will be able to see that, okay, how this person is, how the donation went with the person. Another aspect which I want to mention is GoKidu is also having its own community. You can ask all sorts of questions from the community and you can get answers for that. And that will be expert support. So you are not left alone. You're provided everything, community. You can also get all types of fertility products to GoKidu. You can also get all types of support to GoKidu through doctors and everybody, like from legal side as well. So the whole point of creating GoKidu was to create end-to-end process to hold your hand and help you in this entire process of your pregnancy and help you conceive. So that is one thing which I wanted to address.
Yeah, this is very, very important. Support on all the process.
Yeah. So also, if you have any question, feel free to write me at contact@gokidu.com, or also you can message us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, or even on X. And do follow us, and you'll get great insights, important educational resources on how to choose donor, recipient. If you are stuck anywhere, we are there to help you. And yeah, many more things are coming. So stay tuned, right, Carol?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's see you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol.